I'm hurt and I'm old and I'm tired and I work with children.
If you feel you're here today and I owe you an apology, here it is. I am sorry that the only people softer than you are the wrestlers you like.
On June 17th, 2023, CM Punk made his long-awaited return to AEW at the debut edition of AEW Collision, and let's just say he had a lot on his mind. He cut, in my opinion, one of the best promos of his entire career, calling back to some things that he mentioned in the media scrum, calling back to some things from his past, and reminding people that he is still, in fact, the best in the world. I'm Omer Q for Real Take Wrestling. Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. Let's talk about the CM Punk promo. The second coming of CM Punk happened again at the debut edition of AEW Collision. He came down to a thunderous ovation. Nearly 10,000 people filled up the United Center and gave CM Punk something that was almost akin to the reaction he got when he returned. Of course, I don't think it was as big, but it was a monumental reaction. People were happy. His Chicago faithful, the people that have stuck by him through thick and thin, the same people who were there 9 months ago when he left AEW due to both the injury and everything that happened in the media scrum. The same people welcomed him back with wide open arms, and he comes down, he's carrying this red sack, and he has some shoes around his neck, which we'll get to later. But he comes down, he immediately takes a second and pauses, and we get a still shot very similar to that of what he had when he returned, that side shot of him kind of looking off into the crowd, and I thought it was a really good callback. But when he gets in the ring, he does something very interesting. CM Punk rips off the AEW mic cover, and you know how like usually on the mics they have the little AEW branding. He rips that off, and you could almost say that he was kind of taking a little bit of a dig, like, yeah, all elite wrestling, no, I'm here for business. I'm not here to talk about the elite. I don't even want to say the term elite anymore. And maybe it was a little bit of that. Maybe I'm reading too much into it. But one thing's for sure, he was all business. Everyone was wondering what he was going to say. He kind of cut a little bit of a tweener promo, which I think was the best case scenario. Like, that's the way you want to bring him back. You want him to be a tweener. You want him to be someone who can be a face, who can be a good guy, who can be a bad guy whenever it suits the storyline. And given the past and given how divided the AEW audience has been on him and has been about the elite in this whole situation, I think it makes a lot of sense to do that. Anyway, Punk throughout the promo keeps uttering this phrase, "Tell me when I'm telling lies." And it's the same phrase that he kept on saying throughout the summer, especially when he returned from his foot injury. He had this promo where that was the same one as the Hangman Adam Page call out, when he called him out and Hangman Page wasn't expecting it and no one was ready, no one knew he was going to do it, and he kept on saying, "Tell me when I'm telling lies." He did that same thing here, as if to kind of call back to that and the seriousness of that promo and blur the lines of what is real and what isn't. And if this was AEW, or if this was CM Punk's attempt at kind of blurring those lines and letting people know that, hey, maybe I really do hate the elite. Maybe this is the same Phil. Maybe Tony Khan doesn't have control over the situation. If that's what they're trying to do, then they did a really good job at doing that, because you couldn't tell. And of course, there were some lines here that kind of also hinted to him being a heel, or at least posturing a bit as a heel. He mentioned how the sheer magnitude of him should intimidate people. He came across as a little condescending. He said he's done playing nice. And he also said this, and I thought this was actually one of my favorite lines of the entire promo. He said, "I am the truth, and the truth is painful." And I thought that was interesting because, again, CM Punk throughout his entire career has been known as kind of this boisterous, very, very articulate communicator, but also a guy who's not afraid to go to places where other people are either uncomfortable or other people haven't gone. Like, he's the guy who made like the shoot promo a thing again in WWE and brought it back and brought blurring those lines back to that company, and he made it so popular. Like, the pipe bomb is probably the most influential promo of all time for that very reason. So Punk coming back and, you know, like saying like, "I am the truth and the truth is painful." It's just like a metaphor for so much there, because of course, like, he's saying like the truth is painful. That is a very true statement, or accurate statement. Sorry. It's a very accurate statement to make, because the truth does hurt. People don't like it when a mirror is up against them. People don't like to see the truth that's in front of their eyes sometimes, but sometimes you have to reconcile with it. And the other part about the truth being painful, it's almost a metaphor for CM Punk and his tenure in AEW. Like, it's painful. Like, parts of it were painful, as great as they were. And truth can be great sometimes, and CM Punk's tenure was great for the most part. But the end part, like, it was really painful for not only the company, but many fans and the town, obviously, backstage. And you almost got the sense that, like there were too many shots kind of taken towards the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega and the Elite as a whole. Like, at least indirectly. The only direct shot that you could really say in the entire promo, well, there were two direct shots. First one was when he said the line, like, he said the line, something about the counterfeit Bucks. And it wasn't a direct shot about the Young Bucks, but the Young Bucks then changed their bio to something of the effect of counterfeit Bucks and how they used to have a shirt about it in 2018. So maybe that was a bit of a more direct shot than I originally thought. He also took a shot when he said, "To the people who think that they're owed an apology, I'm sorry that the only people softer than you are the wrestlers you like." And boy, did that line sting. I think, like, while other lines may have been my favorite, that was the best line objectively of the entire promo. He absolutely blurred the lines there. And look, whether or not AEW is planning for CM Punk and the Elite to butt heads or have a feud down the line, the one thing this definitely does is gauge interest or get interest. The fans are clamoring for CM Punk. They're clamoring for more of this. They love it. Like, this is the reason why CM Punk became such a popular figure in the first place. He blurred those lines. And while for the most part, right, I'm one of those people who doesn't like to see those lines blurred if you're not going to end with a match. I think this is a situation where, look, if the parties involved cannot get along and there's no chance at a match, okay, you probably shouldn't have a match. But there's no way, after 9 months of speculation, rumor, after everything and how blatant everything was following All Out, there's no way this could have gone unaddressed. So if this is all we get, if this is the only direct or indirect, action or promo about this whole Elite versus CM Punk situation, and after this, it's all done and they never address it again, it's fine with me, because they at least address the elephant in the room to some extent. Like, you don't have to go out there and say, "Oh, well, yeah, when I shot on Hangman Adam Page because I was scared he was going to shoot on me and he jeopardized the biggest gate in company history," and all that stuff. He didn't need to go and do that. He's already done that, by the way. Like, Like, that's the biggest part. Like, he's already said a lot of the stuff that you could say. Like, all the juicy stuff that you would want him to say, he's already said. So there's no point in retreading it, but you had to at least touch on it after all this time is what I'm trying to say. All this being said, though, looking forward to the future, he teamed with FTR on Collision, and they looked pretty good as a trios team. The match that everyone is talking about, the match that everyone wants to see, the match that is rumored, or at least speculated, I should say, by fans to possibly headline the biggest show that AEW has ever put on in All In London. The match is CMFTR versus Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. So, while I said that, they don't need to, go over this again. They don't really even need to have this match. If AEW were to have this feud, it would be the biggest thing that they have ever done, and likely the biggest angle they ever will do. These are not only 6 of the best wrestlers in the world, these are 6 of the best of all time. These are 6 people. You could have any combination of these 6 and have a great match. I don't care if it's trios. I don't care if it's tag team. I don't care if it's singles. I don't care if it's a 6-way. You could literally build up to this for months, even a year if you really wanted to. You could build this up to be its own pay-per-view, and it would work, and it would be the biggest thing that AEW's ever done. I stand by the statement I made right after All Out. If they were able to work all the media scrum into a shoot, it would be the biggest thing they'd ever do. I stand by that, and I think fans really want to see it. Like, you could tell by the reaction to Collision. Collision was a great show, but the one thing that everyone's talking about is, man, if that match happens between CMFTR and the Elite, it'd be the biggest match AEW could ever put on. And when you're a promoter, when you're Tony Khan, and you're thinking about what my next move is, you're thinking about what's my next big match, that is the big match if you're Tony Khan. That is your Hulk Hogan Rock. That is your Rock Cena, of this generation. There's nothing bigger than that you could do. So, if there's a way to do it, I hope that Tony Khan finds a way. My guess is that given the way CM Punk's promo came off, my guess is that they did find a way to make this work and the match will happen. But here's the other thing about all of this. We don't know. We legitimately don't know what CM Punk or the Elite are thinking. And it's the best part about all of this because there's so much uncertainty that the avenues are open for almost anything. But it's also the worst part because all those avenues might as well also just be closed. Guess we'll find out over the next few months. Let me know what you guys think, though. What did you think about CM Punk's return, his promo? Will we see CMFTR versus the Elite at some point? Let me know in the comments section below. And if you have an idea for a video or something that you want me to talk about, let me know as well. Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. Until next time, be happy, be healthy, and as always, keep it real.